What's good, everyone? It's Game XA here. Hope y'all are having a terrific day. So one of the many goodies the Game Awards gave us was the announcement of a Forspoken demo on the PlayStation 5 store. And that's available right now, no strings attached. And at this point, I've had about 2.5 hours with the game and ended up completing the main demo questline and a few extra things along the way. Now I wanted to offer a review of sorts for the demo and try to provide some insight into what we can expect from the full release in January. The first thing that's apparent is this game is not releasing on prior generation hardware, meaning no PlayStation 4 version, and after spending just a few minutes in the game you can see why. The game takes advantage of the extra power of the PlayStation 5 by offering vast and detailed landscapes in the open world to traverse, with no environmental glitches like pop-up that I've noticed so far, which is maybe the first third-party game to feel like it absolutely could not run on old generation hardware due to the speed at which you are consistently parkouring your way across the map. I doubt that a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, even the Pro versions, could load up the map environments as fast as you can travel, and the game does look stunning. There's tons of particle effects and the world looks lush, and you can go to pretty much everything that you can see, at least as far as the demo was concerned. Equally as important is that the incentives to explore are frequently popping up and are decently varied, with some having puzzles, there's some platforming, and some combat encounters. Even taking photos in certain areas is incentivized with rewards, and this makes exploring fun and getting sidetracked from the main quest easy, which is a good thing in an open world game. As you've seen in the trailers, one of Forspoken's unique offerings is the magic parkour used to get most anywhere on the map. While you have certain parkour magic tied to one of your 4 different magic types, you won't need to switch between them to utilize all of your parkour traversal ability. This makes traveling by chaining different parkour magics painless and easy to get into the flow of, as you just need to hold down the left joystick and the O button to make the magic happen. There is more to parkour than just holding the O button though, as the demo starts at a point where you already have 2 magic types. One of them grants access to a fire whip, which is used to reach higher locations but also leash yourself to the ground to negate fall damage, along with your base abilities to jump and run far distances or enhanced running. All the parkour magic seem to have a bit of auto-targeting though, which can enable some smooth looking movement sequences, but also means that it can be a little difficult to predict where you'll launch into or when an extra jump will work. Chaining these parkour abilities becomes crucial to traversal, as you are not able to just free climb up the face of a cliff, and often needs to look for latching points for your flame whip or grappling hook, or end up having to take the long way up. It may take a bit of getting used to, but I'm liking the feeling of the parkour system so far. And with 2 other types of magic still hidden, I get the sense there may be more parkour magic to chain into to make traversal feel even smoother. The auto-aim sticky feeling extends into the combat as well, as most of your attacks and support spells either auto-lock targets or don't require aim at all. There are a few exceptions, but with how fast things are happening in combat and the large number of enemies that can sometimes appear, it makes sense that the attack magic and support magic need to be deployed quickly and without too much aim. Combined with the dodging being tied to the parkour button O, combat can sometimes feel out of your control when you're suddenly aiming at one enemy you didn't know was in the area, or you end up parkouring up in objects instead of dodging. But some of this could also just be me needing more time with the controls. But for instance, they mentioned that you should be able to parkour over enemies, like flip over them and then line you up for an easy back attack, which I believe you do extra damage when you hit their back. But I have yet to be able to do this intentionally, despite trying. And then there's also a cool attack that reminds me of a Final Fantasy Dragoon jumping, like the lunge attack, where they jump into the air quickly and then dive down with a bunch of spears. And I'm not really sure what triggers this, because I can do this when I'm on the ground and just jump while holding O sometimes, but other times it looks like I need to have some distance in the air before I can trigger it. But overall, the moment-to-moment combat feels smooth, and you're provided with a wide range of choices, allowing you to play to a style that suits you, even within the same magic elements. You're able to use 2 variations of the same attack spell by tapping R2 or holding it down for the charged versions, while support spells only have 1 variation, but additionally you can use a high cooldown ultimate type of spell that certainly does add some cinematic flair to the battles and can serve as a large damage dealer. Speaking of cinematics, the battles do get graded on a Devil May Cry scale, though I'm not sure what the benefits are to high scores at the moment. Both in and out of combat, your talking cuff companion will be able to scan the surrounding area to reveal any items you missed or just display enemy weaknesses to particular magic types. I find the highlighting of the items or objects in particular extremely useful, as it is quite easy to finish a combat encounter and miss all of the enemy drops or just the crafting materials in a given area. And yes, there is something that they call crafting, but it's more like customizing the stats on your equipment that you get. At least in the demo, it didn't appear that you could change the appearance of anything. And on the subject of the cuff, about every 5 seconds or so, it seemed like your character Frey and the talking cuff would need to quip with each other using some dry and uninspired dialogue that's supposed to be funny for the most part, I think. This was probably my least favorite part of the whole experience. Maybe in the context of the full story, it feels more natural for them to speak the way they do, but while not crossing the line into head-up arse dialogue territory, it wasn't what I would call witty or even a welcome addition. This does have me feeling anxious about the writing in general and the narrative, as it is noticeably absent from the entire demo in any way. So same as from the first trailer, the story is still something I worry will end up being the weak point of this game, but as long as it does not come off as offensively bad, I think the sum of its parts will be good enough to give Forspoken at least a good rating, something like an 8 out of 10 by most accounts, and certainly worth your time by the end of the day. But those are just my thoughts from the demo Square Enix released, and I believe it's only available for a limited time, so if you have the chance, play it and let me know what you think, or if this demo review swayed your opinion for Forspoken in either a positive or negative way. Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to smash the like button, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, but most of all, thanks for watching Game Xfinity.